Can you
their,
get a feel for that landlord relationship like right away?
I
Like,
think, yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I think
I
I'm
mean,
pretty
it's a
good at sussing people out. Yeah, and
yeah.
I mean, look, it might change hands. Like one of our places, the ownership has changed hands. Now that doesn't matter for us. The lease carry, legal New York City lease carries through to ownership changes. That doesn't matter. But it's changed hands. So like, wow, we started with one landlord. Now there's another one. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So that can happen too, especially nowadays where like COVID just changed so much. Now there's so many buildings were sold by smaller outfits and bought by bigger outfits because
Yeah.
smaller outfits can't afford things like COVID. And
Yeah.
bigger company, like the things you hear in the news, like big companies invading New York, like that stuff's true.
Mhm.
There's a lot of like shell LLCs that are formed from much larger overseas corporations or governments and buy like swaths of the city. That's like
Yeah.
100%. That's not like some crazy conspiracy. That's just like business. People are doing
It's
that.
interesting.
Yeah, yeah.
This is a tangent. Like
Sure.
I live in Madison, Wisconsin from
Okay.
Minnesota. My wife's from here. But that's like happening here with housing stock. Like
Yeah,
these
I've heard
companies
that.
are coming in and just like buying everything. So like people just can't buy houses anymore.
The Canadian government had to pass a law, and it was very controversial that like you had to be a Canadian citizen or at least like live in Canada for X amount of time during in the last few months, or the last like 6 to 12 months, they passed this law because of that,
Okay.
because of so much of their housing was being purchased by something like what you're talking about. So
Especially in like cities, like all these former warehouses in Milwaukee and Madison here, they're just like, and you look on Airbnb and they're just like 50 of them in the same building operated by Sonder or something like that. It's just like, oh,
yeah,
Jesus Christ.
yeah, there's a bit of heart and soul that's definitely lost
Totally.
that happens. Yeah.